Hi, welcome. I'm Paradise, and today we are going to do a spring renewal practice focusing in on twisting and a little bit of core work. This will still be a very accessible practice though, so no worries there. But if you do have a couple blocks, grab them, you'll want them. If not, fingertips or thick books will do the trick. With that, let's get started. All right, so for today's practice, we are gonna start in a seat. Go ahead and set your right shin forward of the left and sit up nice and tall. Feel your sitting bones down on the ground. And if you like, you can even take your hands back behind you, move the flesh out of the way so you can really feel the sitting bones rooting down. And then here with an inhale, we're just gonna take the arms out and up. And as you exhale, go ahead and side bend over towards the left. Reach a little bit further with your right fingertips. With an inhale, come on up through center and exhale over to the other side. Let's do that again. Inhale, come on up and really think about reaching through your fingertips to the center. As you exhale, come on over to the other side. Hold and pause and breathe here. Reach a little bit further with your right fingertips. Think about drawing your right hip crease a little further down towards the ground. Take another breath in and out. With an inhale, we'll come back up through center. As you exhale, come on over to the other side. And again, we're gonna hold and breathe here into the side body. Reach a little bit further with your left fingertips as you draw your left hip crease a little further down towards the ground. Nice. With an inhale, we're gonna come all the way up. Again, reach, and then we'll release the hands down to the ground, and we're gonna start to walk ourselves forward. And I invite you to move into the body slowly. Yeah, we're gonna have plenty of time to get a little deeper in. We're just getting started. So let these first few postures just be about inquiry, noticing and feeling the feeling of being in your body, where you might be housing tension. And then breathe into that space. So try to connect breath to movement as much as you can. Take a big breath here into wherever it is you're feeling the shape the most. And let's let it out with a sigh. And then we're gonna bring ourselves all the way up. Bring your legs out in front of you. Take them a little bit wider than the hips. Usually max distance is a nice place to go. And then you can bring the fingertips back behind you. Now take a big breath in. As you exhale, we'll let the knees wash over to the right. And then inhale up through center and over to the left. And keep going here. Inhale up through center, exhale over to the right. Again, inhale up through center and over to the left. Nice, come on back up through center. Let's switch the cross of the legs, left shin forward to the right, sitting up nice and tall, starting to do some twisting now. With an inhale, we'll take the arms out and up, reach through the fingertips. As you exhale, we'll twist over towards that left side. The arms can come down as you breathe out. Inhale, it's gonna bring you back up through center, and then exhale over to the other side. Let's do that again. Inhale, come all the way up, reach, reach, reach. As you exhale, come on over to this left side and hold. My right hand's gonna come across to the outside of the left thigh. We'll take the left hand back behind the head. Now take a big breath in. As you exhale, you're gonna draw your right ear down towards the right shoulder. A little dip here to the side to open up left side body. With an inhale, we'll come on up. As you exhale again, lower. One more time, let's do this. Take a big breath in and exhale, lower. Nice, inhale is gonna bring you back up through center. Reach across, left hand's gonna come on top of the right thigh now. And here we're gonna round the upper back. You can tuck your chin in as you do this. Think like you're doing cat. It is the same action in the spine here. And then with an inhale, we're gonna sit up nice and tall. Give yourself a big bear hug. So left elbow right over the right, and we're gonna swivel a little bit side to side to get that low back to unlock a bit here. And you might even tell yourself something sweet, even if that feels silly. And then we'll pause here at the top. Now, you could keep the elbows stacked just like this. We call this a bear hug. Or if it works in your body to find a single or a double wrap of the arms, you'll do that. Eagle arms, yeah? So elbows are gonna move up and away from you, whatever expression of the shape you're in. And here with an inhale, we'll lift the chest, lift the heart. As you exhale, dome and round the upper back, draw the elbows towards the sternum. Let's keep going. Inhale, open your chest. Exhale, round in. One more time like that. Inhale and exhale. Come on up through center, release, let that go. Let's take the arms out and up once again. Take a big breath in. We'll do that whole bit to the other side. So we're gonna twist over towards the right, left hand on top of the right thigh, right hand to the back of the head. Take a big breath here. As you exhale, we'll dip the left ear down towards the left knee. It doesn't matter how far down you go, it's just all about where you feel this the most. You're inhaling up and exhaling down. Nice and slow, opening up side body. One more time here. And then with an inhale, we'll come on up. Keep the left hand as is. Take the right arm up and over. Again, I'm trying to give myself a nice little tug here as I round the upper back. Rounding in. And then we'll come on up through center. Again, a big bear hug and a little swivel side to side. Take a big breath in. And let it go. Lovely. And then you can pause here. If you are doing the bear hug option, just take the elbows up and away from you, or a single or a double wrap of the arms. And again, as you inhale, we'll open the chest. As you exhale, round it in. Keep going. Inhale to open. Think cat-cow here. Exhale, round it in. One more time. Take a big inhale, open. Exhale, we round in. Nice. With an inhale, come on up. Release that bind, let it go. And again, we're going to walk ourselves forward any amount. Take your time, unrushed, unhurried, and just notice and feel if this side feels any different than the other side. Notice if you're shrugging shoulders, if you've let some tension creep up there. We tend to house a lot of it up there as much as you can. Try to relax the shoulders away from the ears. Nice long neck. Take another big breath into wherever it is you're feeling this shape the most. And a full breath out. With an inhale, go ahead and bring yourself all the way up. We're gonna release the legs out again in front of us. So the last time we were here, so feet are again mat's distance wide, wider than the hips. We had the hands back behind us. And if you feel like you need that option, you can still work there. If it is available to you to release the hands and bring them to the heart and do this movement, you might try that on and see how it feels. Now, as you inhale, think lengthen your body. As you exhale, we'll let the knees fall over to the left, and then inhale up through center and exhale over to the right. And we'll keep going like this. You'll inhale up, exhale, knees are gonna come over to the left. Inhale up through center and over to the right. You can stay with this or add a little bow. You'll inhale up through center, exhale over to the right, a little bow, to the left, a little bow over that left shin. You'll come on up with an inhale, exhale over to the other side. Again, perhaps incorporating this little bow over the shin as you go. Let's do that one more time each side. Inhale and exhale. And you'll do that again, inhale and exhale. And you might find that you're walking forward. Yeah, that's something that naturally happens. In fact, when I'm teaching this at the studio, I have students move to the back of the mat. So if you moved off your mat, no problem. All right, so let's move on. We're gonna come into a tabletop position. If you wanna take a little blanket underneath the knees, please feel free. All right, here we are, tabletop. Spread the fingers out nice and wide. Make sure your wrists are right underneath your shoulders, knees right underneath the hips. We'll start with some gentle cat-cows here. As you inhale, lift the heart, lift the tailbone, let the belly drop down. Exhale, dome and round the back and press the ground away from you. And then we'll do that again. Inhale, extend the spine. Exhale, dome and round the back. Let's transition into Chakravarkasana, and that's where we inhale. Lift the heart, lift the tailbone, let the belly drop. Exhale, dome and round the back, but slowly the hips move back towards the heels. A little moment to pause here. And we can inhale again. We come forward, find that extension of the spine. Exhale, dome and round the back. Nice and slow, hips move back towards the heels. Now give yourself a moment to pause here. Take a big breath in and out. And then we'll find a twist here. We're gonna thread our left arm underneath the right armpit. Come onto the back of your left shoulder and give yourself a moment to relax into this shape. Big breath into wherever it is you're feeling this one the most. Exhale with a sigh. And then come through center, and right away we'll go over to the other side, right arm underneath the left armpit, back of the right shoulder. Let's take a breath here together. And out. Lovely. With an inhale, come back through center. A little moment to pause. And then we'll come back into that tabletop position. We'll twist here again. Take your left hand under the nose, right hand to the hip or to the sky. We'll take a big breath in. As you exhale, reach underneath the left armpit. Come onto the back of the right shoulder. Let your right cheek find the ground. So a little different than where we were before, as the hips were lowered. This time they are lifted. And you have some extra options here. You could interlace the fingers and give your right arm a little tug away from you. You could also, or in addition to, or instead of, extend your left leg out to the left and use it as a kickstand to get a little further onto the back of the shoulder. These are just options and variations of the shape. Do whatever feels best for you. We'll take one more breath wherever you are. And out. And then if you have limbs out and about, go ahead and bring them back underneath you. Press that left hand right in front of your face. With a big inhale, we'll unwind. And then let's set up for the second side. Right hand right under the nose, left hand to the hip or sky. We'll take a big breath in. Exhale, reach underneath that left armpit. Let your left cheek find the ground. A moment just to notice and feel how this side feels compared to the other. And again, your options are to stay just like this. You can interlace the fingers and pull your left arm a little further away. You could extend your right leg out to the right and even roll further onto the back of the shoulder. But more is not always better. It's just a matter of what you need in your body today. Take one more breath in and out. And then again, if you do have limbs out and about, you'll gather them back underneath you. Press into your right palm. With a big inhale, we'll unwind. And then come on back through center. From here, right away, we're going to find our way into a downward facing dog. Curl the toes under, lift your knees and hips all the way up and back, downward facing dog. Head nice and heavy, and just take a little time here for you. Move your body in any way that feels good. You can shake your head yes, shake it no, pedal through the feet, sway the hips side to side. And then with an inhale, let's shift forward, find your way into a high plank pose. As you exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Do that again. Inhale forward, high plank. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing. One more time. Inhale, plank. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a big breath in. Full breath out. And then from here, we're going to take the feet mats distance wide, so wider than the hips. And we're going to walk the hands back until we can root the heels down to the ground. So you want your heels to be connected to the earth. And it might mean that we need to take a block underneath our palms, and that's perfectly fine. We're going to take right hand right under the nose and then reach for the outside of the right shin with the left hand. And here, give yourself a nice little tug so you can bend into the elbow, let the head hang, and then think about drawing your right hip crease back. Take a big breath into this and out. And then come through center and do the second side. So left hand roots to the center of the mat, reaching for the outside of the left shin with the right hand. Give yourself a nice little tug. Head is heavy. And draw your left hip crease back. And out. Nice. Come on back through center. We're going to turn the toes out and bend into the knees, finding Malasana Yogi squat at the back of the mat. Here, palms together at the heart, elbows into knees, knees into elbows. This might need to stay a little higher at this point in the practice, or maybe for all times, and that's perfectly fine as well, but we'll just take a few moments, let the hips open up, and then as you're ready, we're gonna walk ourselves forward, keeping the legs wide, mat's distance wide as we come into this plank position. Now here, you can stay in plank. This is already plenty of work. Of course, you could always take the knees down as another option, or if you want to add on, you might try floating your right toes and then setting them down, and then floating your left toes and setting them down. You could try a right hand to your heart, release, left hand to the heart, release, and then you could stay with either of those pieces, or a little extra challenge, you might try right hand and your left toes, set that down, and then try the other side. Set it down, and you might find one side is harder than the other, as you saw with me. That's perfectly normal. Take another breath wherever you are, and then release all the way down. Here we're going to stack the palms and release the head. And just shimmy shake the hips a little bit side to side. And then bend your knees and windshield wiper your shin side to side. Nice, we'll release and let that go. We're gonna goal post the arms, take your right cheek to the mat, and draw your left knee towards the left elbow. And it's less about getting the knee as high as we can, and it's more about trying to move this left knee as far away from our center as we can. Again, right cheek to the mat here, we'll pause and breathe. Big breath in and a full breath out. And you can stay with this, or you can extend your right arm towards the, or away from your body. And roll onto your right shoulder. And head is heavy here. You can stack the legs, or even take this left foot back behind you. And then unwind. Over to the second side we go. So again, hugging the earth pose, left cheek to the mat, right knee draws up and away from our center. Couple of deep breaths here. And then you could stay with this or extend your left arm out to the left and roll onto that left shoulder any amount. And anywhere you feel comfortable with this top look. Take one more breath in and out. And then with an inhale, we'll come back through center. All right, let's do a little back bending here. Bring the hands to frame the chest, the elbows hug in, tops of the feet root down into the ground as you inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, release and let it go. 2, 1 like that. Inhale. And exhale. One more time, inhale. And exhale. On your next inhale, all the way up and back, downward facing dog. Take a big breath in. And sigh it out. From here, we're gonna pick our right leg up, bend the right knee, stack the hips open, and add some movement here into your hip joint. So these could be big or small circles. They don't need to be fast. Just make sure you go both ways. Moving that thigh bone in the hip socket. And then for another moment, right knee nice and high to the sky. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, we're gonna step the leg all the way forward and through. And if the leg doesn't make it all the way through, you can just let it land where it does. Take that right hand back behind and guide it forward. Left hand's gonna root under your shoulder. This is a nice place for blocks. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and set these near the top of my mat so they're ready to go. So your left hand can come onto a block. You could also be on the fingertips or the palm, whatever feels best for you. Right hand at the hip or the sky. We're gonna take a big breath in. As you exhale, reach underneath the left armpit. Do that again, inhale, open. Exhale, reach through. Again, inhale, open. Exhale, reach through. Lovely. Go ahead and release. From here, fingertips or blocks. Wherever you are, think about lifting out of the low back and then find length here in your body. So the top of your head's reaching forward and I'm trying to get as long as I can from the crown of my head through that left heel. Notice if the shoulders are shrugging, try to relax them away. Looking for a nice stretch here in the front of the left thigh. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, we're gonna extend through the front leg and go ahead and float the ball mound of your right foot with you. This will get you a little deeper into the calf. Let's do that 2 more times. You'll inhale, bend into the front knee, lift the heart forward. Exhale, we extend through the front leg. 1 more time like this. Inhale to lunge. Exhale into this long stance pyramid. We'll now go ahead and root the whole right foot down. You might notice the stretch move into the front of the shin. Try not to lock out your right knee. There's some buoyancy there. And we want to find length in the body as we breathe in. As you breathe out, we bow in. Belly to thigh. Tuck your chin in. Top of the head for your right big toe. Big breath into this. And out. With an inhale, once again, grow the spine. Left hand roots under your shoulder, right hand to the hip or sky. Take another breath here. Undo it. You're gonna bring the left foot in so you can root that heel down, so a little closer in. We're gonna twist the other way. Right hand under the shoulder, left hand to the hip or to the sky. Big breath here. Exhale, undo it. Rebend into your front knee and then step your left foot forward. Let's find length here. Press your thighs or press your hands against your thighs. get long. Exhale, release, let that go. Inhale, root to rise and come all the way up. Reach through your fingertips. Exhale, palms together at the heart. With an inhale again, we'll sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, we bow. Inhale, press against thighs, shins get long. Exhale, release the hands down. Step your right foot to the back of the mat. Right fingertips or hand on that block, right under the shoulder. Left hand to the hip or sky. Take a big breath in. Exhale, reach underneath your right armpit. 2 more like this. Inhale, open. Exhale, reach through. 1 more time. Inhale to open. Exhale, reach as far as you can. Nice. Reset, fingertips or blocks. Think length here. So let's give ourselves a moment to pause here in this lunge. Top of the head towards the front of your mat. Nice and long in that back leg. We'll take a big breath in as you exhale, extend through the front leg. Float the ball mound of your left foot. Let's keep going. Inhale, bend into the front knee. Exhale, we extend. 1 more time. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, extend. Nice. Go ahead and root your whole left foot down. Find length as you breathe in. On an exhale, we breathe out. Belly to thigh. Tuck your chin in. Top of the head for the left big toe. With an inhale, we again grow the spine. Right hand roots under your shoulder. Left hand to the hip or to the sky. Take a big breath here. Exhale, undo it. And then step your right foot a little further forward so you can get that back heel down. Left hand under the shoulder. Right hand to the hip or to the sky. We'll take a big breath in. Exhale, unwind here. Re-bend into your front knee. Plant the palm, step your left leg back. Now you could stay here and just come right into a downward facing dog. Or float through a vinyasa, in which case you could lower all the way down or come into chaturanga. You can find a cobra or an upward facing dog or any back bend you wish. You might even take a moment in child's. We will all meet back in downward facing dog when you feel ready. Take a big breath here with me and let it go. All right, with an inhale, we're gonna pick our left leg up now and bend knees, stack hips open. And again, feel free to add a bit of movement here. Think more exploratory as opposed to trying to get to a specific place. Making some circles, big or small, noticing, feeling, going both ways, and then left knee nice and high to the sky. So think you're yawning, your hips open. This is a twist in itself. We'll take a big breath here. On an exhale, we're gonna step this left leg forward and through. This time your right knee is gonna lower down to the earth, and it could be on a blanket or on the ground. And we're gonna come to rise into what we call Anjaneyasana, which just means a kneeling lunge. So that back knee is down, the shoulders are down. Take a big breath here as you exhale, cactus the arms. Draw the shoulder blades towards one another. You can find a little lift in the heart. Palms together. Take a breath in. As you exhale, we'll twist to the to the left. Right elbow to the outside of the left thigh. Top of the head reaches towards the front of your space. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, you're really pressing this elbow against the thigh. Try to find a little bit more rotation. We'll take one more breath here. Exhale, undo it. Again, fingertips or blocks. I love blocks as they help me lift out of my low back, create a little bit more space there. And then on an exhale, we'll extend through the front leg for a half splits position. Again, anytime these legs are extended or your arms are extended, we want to make sure we're not locking out the joint. We want to have a little space there for energy, for prana to move through. Now, as you inhale, find length in your body. As you exhale, we bow, belly to thigh. The top of your head's reaching for your left big toe. Take a big breath in and out. With an inhale, we'll lift up halfway. Your right hand's gonna root under your shoulder, left hand to the hip or to the sky. Take a big breath here. Exhale, undo it. We're gonna re-bend into the front knee, curl the back toes under, lift the back knee, and with a big inhale, step to the top of your mat. When you get there, press against thighs, shins get long. Exhale, let it go, bend your knees. Let's find chair pose. Make sure that you can see your toes. There's some engagement and tone in the belly. The shoulders are down the back. Take a big breath here. As you exhale, we bow. Inhale, press against thighs, shins get long. Exhale, release the hands down and step your left foot to the back of the mat. Left knee is gonna lower down to the ground or your blanket, and we're gonna come to rise into Anjaneyasana, a kneeling lunge. Take a breath here. As you exhale, cactus the arms, draw the shoulder blades towards one another. Palms together at the heart, take a breath in. Exhale to twist, and you can keep the twist high, or if it works, left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. As you inhale, grow the spine, top of the head towards the front of your mat. As you exhale, you might try to deepen the twist. We'll take one more breath in. Exhale, undo it. Fingertips or blocks, and then we'll extend through that front leg for half splits pose, mindful of not locking out the joint, the knee. Find length as you breathe in. Exhale to breathe out and bow in any amount until you feel some sort of stretch here in the back of the left thigh. We'll stay here for a breath in. Be mindful of shrugging shoulders. Try to keep the shoulders down the back. And let this one go. Let this breath go. With an inhale again, we lengthen. Left hand will root under your shoulder, right hand to the hip or sky. Drawing the right hip crease back. Take another breath in. Exhale, release, let that go. We're gonna rebend into the front knee. Curl the back toes under, lift the back knee, and step your right foot to the back of the mat. Take a breath in, plank. Exhale, lower, either all the way or hover in chaturanga. Option for an upward facing dog, a cobra, or any back bend you would like. Exhale, we'll press back, downward facing dog. Take a big breath in and sigh it out. Let's do that 2 more times. Big breath in and out. One more big inhale and exhale. With an inhale, find your way to the top of the mat. You can take little steps, big steps. You might try on a little hop. When you get there, press against your thighs, shins get long. Exhale, release. And again, we'll bend the knees and find our way into chair. So in chair, it's important to make sure that the knees are tracking right over that middle toe and that you can see your toes. So if the knees are coming forward, you just scooch them back. Again, we want some engagement here in the abdomen so that the lumbar spine, the low back supported. We're gonna do some twisting here. We're gonna take a breath in. As you exhale, cactus the arms, palms together at the heart. Take a big inhale. Exhale to twist. You can keep the twist high, or you might take your left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. Wherever you are on an inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, think about pressing and finding a little bit more rotation. If the twist is high, you might just try to twist a little bit more. With an inhale, we'll come back through center and then right away over to that second side. Again, right elbow to that left thigh. If that works in your body, take one more breath here and out. Inhale is going to bring you back through center, and we're going to try to slowly come all the way down into a seat, maybe without the use of our hands. Maybe we have to use hands, and that's perfectly fine. Here, go ahead and grab a block or something. Maybe it's an imaginary ball here. Maybe it's a prayer at the heart, but we are going to come to boat pose and hold. Find length. Let's do a little bit of core work before we come onto our backs. We'll take, or a little bit more, I should say. We've been doing plenty, but we'll take a breath in. As you exhale, we're going to twist over to the right. If you have that block, I'm trying to bring it all the way down to the ground. So let's keep going here. Your own pace. Side to side you go. Nice and slow, nice and even. I want to remind you that it's harder to move slower in practice. Yeah, so when we move quickly, we tend to use more momentum and less strength. When we move slower, we have to recruit a lot more muscle. So move slow, don't be in a hurry. Move with your breath, trying to keep the breath nice and even, nice and steady. And then let's pause here at the center, finding our way into a low boat. Take another breath in and then release, let everything go. You can set that block over to the side. Let's reach long here, fingertips away from the toes. Get as long as you can. Exhale, knees into the belly. Give yourself a nice little squeeze, a little rock side to side. And then from here, we're gonna set the feet down and take your right ankle over the left thigh. You can stay just like this and press that right thigh bone away, or you can draw your left leg in and reach through your figure four for whatever's available to you. It could be your yoga pants, it could be your thigh, it could be your shin. Take one more breath here wherever you are and let it go. And then you could stay here, or if you'd like to try on a twist, and this could happen with that left foot down as well, you can let this knee and foot fall over to the left. This is one of my favorite twists to do. You can take the gaze in the opposite direction, really wringing out the spine. Let's take one more breath here together, whatever expression of the shape you're in, and let it go. With an inhale, we'll come back up through center. Second side, left ankle, right thigh. Feel free to stay or draw that right leg in, reach through, grab whatever's available. Couple of deep breaths into the outer hip. And then you're welcome to stay or release the bind. If you have it, let knee and foot fall over to the right. You can take the gaze in the opposite direction. Nice. With an inhale, we're going to come back through center and then go ahead and reset. I'm going to bring us right into a restorative bridge. If you want a little bit more work here for the back body, you could come into a bridge where you hold before you add in the block. But as you're ready, meet me in a restorative expression of the posture. I'm taking the lowest setting of the block and I'm sliding it right along the pelvis, so below the spine here. And we'll just take a few moments and let the spine reset. Watch, notice, feel your breath. So we're really slowing down now, and sometimes as we do, the mind starts to kind of wander, and just notice if that's happening for you, and if so, bring it back to your body, bring it back to your breath. If you're in a more dynamic back bend, go ahead and meet us here in restorative bridge. Let's take one more breath here together. And out. And then from here, you can stay as you are, or perhaps extend your legs up to the ceiling, maybe some pointing and flexing here of the ankles, rolling the toes around, giving the feet a little bit of love. And then we'll go ahead and bend the knees and set the feet, press into them, move the block out of the way. And then we'll do one more thing here. The hips are already lifted. Let's scooch them a little over to the right to help find nice alignment. We're gonna extend our left leg long, and you can draw your right knee in and take a bent right knee across the body, or you can extend that right leg and take an extended right leg across the body. Longer lever is gonna get you a little deeper in, but sometimes deeper is not necessary. We don't need to go there. So much of this practice is about watching and noticing and feeling not only body, but also mind and our tendencies, our patterns. With an inhale, we're gonna come back up through center, press into your feet, pick the hips up, scooch them a little over to the left. Right leg's gonna extend long, left knee draws in, either a bent left knee across the body or extended left leg across the body. Do you have a tendency to always be grasping, always be trying to do the maximum amount? Or maybe it's the opposite end of the spectrum, right? So we really use the poses, the asanas, the practice as a way to learn more, not only about our bodies, but about ourselves. With an inhale, we're gonna come back through center. Let's go ahead and reset, press into your feet, make sure your hips and shoulders are in alignment. Right away into Shavasana, where we're gonna allow for a bit of integration, a bit of digestion, if you will. So go ahead and let the legs extend long, feet roll open, arms alongside body. If you rather take this last minute in a seated meditation, you're welcome to do that as well, but something neutral, a few moments in stillness. Let's take a breath in together and out. And as always, if you have time, if you're able to linger here longer, please do so. If you need to move on with your day, we'll slowly go ahead and bring ourselves up to a seat. And just a moment to honor the practice. Palms together at the heart, bowing in. Thank yourself for taking time for you, and know that I'm ever so grateful to get to be a part of your journey. Thanks for being here.